My daughter got married without telling me. Her stepfather walked her down the aisle. She called me a stranger. Now her mom has passed and her stepfather is gone. She wants a relationship and help with the funeral. Hello Reddit I+ here. My name is Anthony Rhodes. I'm 49 now. And for the last decade, I've lived like a ghost in my own daughter's life. The kind of ghost that no one mentions, not even in whispers. But that all changed when my daughter, who once called another man dad and told me I was nothing to her, suddenly showed up asking for help after her world crumbled. Let me take you back. I was 36 when my ex-wife, Vanessa, blindsided me with divorce papers. Our daughter, Kayla, was 9. Vanessa claimed we'd grown apart, but she didn't just leave the marriage. She went for my throat. Within days, she filed for full custody of Kayla and requested the court mandate supervised visits for me. Her reason? That I had emotional instability and anger issues. Never mind that I'd never even raised my voice around Kayla, or that I'd been her soccer coach for 3 years straight without incident. I fought like hell in court, but the system didn't care. Vanessa had the first word, and in custody court, the first word is gospel. I burned through $11,000 in legal fees just to get 3 hours of visitation twice a month. I enrolled in anger management courses I didn't need just to show I was trying. None of it mattered. Every hearing, Vanessa had a new accusation, a meltdown at a grocery store, a panic episode at a birthday party, all made up, but no one questioned her. Meanwhile, Kayla started changing. One week she'd hug me tight, asking when she could come visit longer. The next, she'd flinch when I reached for her hand. That was when I realized Vanessa wasn't just winning in court. She was winning at home. She was turning my daughter against me. By the time Kayla turned 11, Vanessa had remarried. His name was Craig Dalton, a walking cliché of a better man. Wealthy, clean-cut, CEO of a roofing company, owned a massive suburban house with a pool and a damn outdoor fireplace. He even coached his stepkids' lacrosse team and donated to local charities. Basically, he was what Vanessa always wanted, a provider with a polished smile. And I was a union electrician renting a 2-bedroom apartment with rust on the bathroom sink. Craig swooped in and played Super Dad perfectly. Kayla latched onto the lifestyle fast. Trips to Aspen, designer backpacks, new iPhones every year. When I called on weekends, she'd be too busy. When I showed up, no one answered the door. I remember the last straw like it happened yesterday. It was Christmas. I'd bought Kayla a custom charm bracelet, engraved with her birthstone and the initials A and K. She loved bracelets. I figured maybe it'd mean something. I drove over on Christmas Eve just to hand it to her. Vanessa opened the door, phone already recording. Leave now, Anthony. You're violating the court order. I just want to give her this gift. You're harassing us, she said, shoving the phone closer. 2 days later, I was served with a restraining order. That was it. No more visits, no more phone calls, no more dad. Soon after, Vanessa changed Kayla's last name to Dalton. I didn't find out until a friend sent me a Facebook post of Kayla at a charity gala, wearing a Dalton roofing t-shirt. Underneath the caption read, "Proud daughter of Craig Dalton." I sat at my kitchen table that night and cried harder than I had in years. Fast forward, 8 years. I'm 49, single, and living 3 hours away in a small town. Still doing electrical work, still fixing up broken generators and old motorcycles in my garage. Quiet life. Boring, but peaceful. Then 2 weeks ago, a text. Can we talk? No name. I ignored it. Next day, another one. It's Kayla. I froze. My daughter, the one who cut me out like I never existed, was reaching out. After 8 years of radio silence, I didn't respond. My buddy Harold at work saw me staring at my phone. What's up? He asked. I told him. He didn't hesitate. She's not reaching out because she misses you. She needs something. Guaranteed. He wasn't wrong. The third message confirmed it. Vanessa had passed away from pancreatic cancer. Craig, the perfect stepdad, followed her a week later. Suicide. Apparently, he couldn't handle the grief. Kayla was alone, and she needed help with estate matters, funeral planning, legal messes. Not Dad, I miss you. Just Dad, I need a lawyer. Now I didn't answer. But then my brother Leo showed up at my door, muffins in hand like he was staging an intervention. She's your daughter, man, Leo said. She's lost everything. You can't just ignore her. She's been ignoring me for 8 years, I replied. Leo gave me the real scoop. Kayla had kept Vanessa's cancer diagnosis secret from the rest of Vanessa's family. Her aunts, cousins, even Vanessa's mother. None of them got to say goodbye. Then, while Vanessa was on her deathbed, Kayla sold her grandmother's house, a family heirloom, without telling anyone. She pocketed the money. Vanessa's family disowned her. But it got worse. Craig's adult kids, who Kayla had frozen out for years, were suing her. They claimed Kayla manipulated their father into changing his will and insurance beneficiary after Vanessa died. They said he was vulnerable, grief-stricken, and Kayla swooped in and took control. Supposedly, Craig had started removing Kayla from his will, but never finished the paperwork. Now she's facing a massive civil suit and has no one left to turn to, except me, the man she erased. Leo begged me to call her. She was just a kid when all that stuff happened. She didn't know better, but at 20, selling property behind a dying woman's back? Blocking Craig's family from seeing him in his final months? She knew exactly what she was doing. A day later, I got one final voicemail from Kayla. Fine, be the guy who never shows up, just like always. I'll tell everyone you abandoned me when I needed you most. That did it. That voicemail wasn't about reconciliation. It was a threat, a reminder of how she, like her mother, could twist the narrative to make me the villain. So I blocked her number, let her hire a lawyer, just like her mom used to do, but that wasn't the end. 1 week later, I got a subpoena in the mail. I'm being dragged into the lawsuit over Craig's estate as a witness. Looks like Craig's kids followed through on their threat to sue, and now everyone wants to hear from the real dad, the man Kayla erased, ignored, and now desperately needs. And maybe, just maybe, this time, I finally get to speak the truth. The day I showed up in court, I didn't walk in as a grieving father or a supportive witness. I walked in as a man, tired of being manipulated. Craig Dalton's adult son, Jason, was the one who called me to the stand. His attorney asked me to confirm what role I played in Kayla's life. Are you Kayla Dalton's biological father? Yes, I said calmly, my voice steady, though you wouldn't know it from how she's treated me the last decade. That courtroom was silent. I told the court everything. The restraining order, the blocked visits, how she took Craig's name, how I found out about her wedding from someone else's Facebook post, and then I dropped the bomb. She didn't even invite me to the wedding, I said. She said I was a stranger. Her stepfather walked her down the aisle. She changed her name, called me a danger, and now she wants me to vouch for her character in a civil suit over property and life insurance policies? The judge raised an eyebrow. Jason's attorney leaned in. Do you believe Kayla manipulated Mr. Dalton before his death? I didn't hesitate. I think Kayla learned very well from her mother how to use people, and when those people outlived their usefulness, she threw them away. Kayla couldn't look at me. She sat across the room in a navy blue suit, flanked by her own attorney. She looked smaller than I remembered, not in size, but in presence. Like the weight of everything she'd built was crumbling on top of her. She didn't cry. She didn't apologize. She didn't even try to deny it. She just looked defeated. But the real chaos started after the court recessed. I stepped outside for air. Jason caught up with me. You know, my dad used to talk about you, he said. Said he always felt a little guilty stepping in. He wanted to reach out. Said Vanessa wouldn't allow it. I didn't know how to respond. Jason continued. You're the first person in this whole mess who hasn't lied, and if you ever need a job or someone to watch your back, I run a contracting firm. We need electricians. That offer hit me harder than any emotional speech ever could. Respect, from someone who had every reason to hate Kayla, but the next blow came later that night. A letter, hand-delivered, no envelope, just folded paper with my name scribbled across it, from Kayla. It read, Dad, if you can still call yourself that, thanks for proving to everyone what I always suspected, that when things get hard, you run. I came to you in the lowest moment of my life, and instead of helping, you humiliated me in court. Whatever bridges we had left, you burned them. You want the truth? Craig hated you. He told me men like you never change. Turns out he was right. Goodbye. I read it 3 times. Then I lit it on fire and dropped it into the sink. No more guilt. No more wondering if I could have been better, stronger, more patient. I was done, but the story didn't end there. 3 weeks later, I got a call from a woman named Denise. She was a private investigator working for one of Craig's former business partners, who suspected Kayla had forged documents before Craig's death. Apparently, she'd obtained power of attorney under unusual circumstances. Denise asked if I'd be willing to share anything Kayla had sent me recently. I told her about the letter. She asked if I still had it. I laughed and said, nope, it's in ashes. But it didn't matter, because Denise had a copy of the will, and the signature on the final version didn't match Craig's known handwriting. A forensic document analyst had already flagged it. Suddenly, this wasn't just a civil lawsuit. It was veering into criminal territory. Fraud, forgery, estate manipulation. If charges stuck, Kayla could face prison. When I told Leo, my brother who begged me to help, he went silent. Then he muttered, I didn't know it was that deep. She's not a kid anymore, I told him. She's an adult who's finally learning what consequences feel like. Days later, Kayla's lawyer tried to reach me, said she wanted to settle privately with Craig's kids and clean her reputation. Asked if I'd be willing to write a letter of character support. I laughed. Hard. Tell her to ask the man who walked her down the aisle. Then I hung up. Let her rebuild herself, like I had to. Let her earn back her reputation, without dragging my name through the mud again. Because now, for once, I wasn't the one being replaced. I wasn't the villain in someone else's story. I was just free. And that, after all this time, felt better than any apology ever could.